right, everybody, welcome back to the 1% podcast. And honestly, for this one, this is purely selfish. I'm fucking buzzing for this one because I followed this man for, I don't even know now, years. So I was like, I'll slide into his DMs and see what we say. So I'm excited to have Joe Ballinger on the podcast. How you doing, bud?
I'm really good, thanks. I appreciate you having me on, dude. I know it's we've had a few back and forths trying to get the date right, but we nailed it. We're both busy men, so we're here. We made it. It's a pleasure to be here, man. I appreciate it.
No, honestly, thank you. How are you feeling? You feeling all right now? You were on the road?
Yeah. Oh God, honestly, obviously I went over to Spain for what was supposed to be 3 weeks, and literally within the first 4 or 5 days, I caught this like bacterial infection, and it put me out for like 2 weeks. It was bad, really bad. And I've not been ill like that, I would say, probably in my life, really. I was, people say bed bound. I was like, I literally didn't get out of bed for nearly 4 days. It was bad. I couldn't eat anything. I remember I ate probably maybe 1 or 2 packs of Haribo over the course of like nearly 4 days.
Holy shit,
it was bad. And that was because Lewis, my friend that was there, was like, dude, we eat something. I was just there like, what? I couldn't eat meals, couldn't get out of bed. But yeah, we're back to it now. I'm feeling good, feeling healthy, feeling like my mental capacity has come back, which is great. So yeah, back in the game, and obviously bodybuilding wise, everything's good. Back in the gym, pushing food and training and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're good. We're back.
Amazing, man. Obviously, for anyone that doesn't know who you are, which they should, so guys, just jump on. But for anyone that doesn't know who you are, mate, who is Joe? Like, I guess, who are you now? And maybe we'll kind of backtrack a little bit in a second.
So basically, obviously, I say obviously, if you don't know, you don't know. I'm an online fitness coach, and I'm proud to say I was doing it since before it was cool. I'm a bodybuilder, competitive bodybuilder. I used to be a competitive powerlifter back in the day. I was British, European, and world powerlifting champion back in the junior days. And then from there, I've been university educated, self-educated as well. I've coached hundreds of guys to get in shape, lots of competitive clients, and actually more so moved a little bit more towards the lifestyle style of coaching as well, because I actually, through my own endeavors and experiences, some of them not so good, I feel like I can offer kind of like I don't want to say a different type of service, but I feel like I can offer more than just helping somebody get in shape. I feel like I can help people up here as well, sort of like getting them in shape, but also helping them the way they think and feel and perceive life and all these kind of things. Like, it sounds pretty, it is pretty deep, to be fair. I've been, like I say, I like to be able to utilize my own life experiences to be able to help other people. So yeah, I guess that's me in a nutshell. I'm 32 years of age now. I've been bodybuilding for 11 years, competitively for 7 years now. We're on the cusp of the old IFBB Pro card. I've been in about 4 or 5 different overalls now and just not quite got there, lost out by very small margins. But, it's in my mentality to keep going and keep coming back. And this year's been a bit of a weird one, I'll be honest, because I spent the 3 years before that were like, right, we'll jump back in, have a little bit of time of jump back in. I was so fucking close. Don't know if I can swear on this one up, but
you do what you want. It's great.
And that's why, I kept going and going and going. And then at the end of the season this year, 2022, we actually went straight into off season, and I pushed from like 240 pounds stage weight to 270 pounds in like 2 weeks. And I just didn't feel great. I didn't feel great mentally. I didn't feel great physically. And then it was at that point, I also went through a bit of a breakup as well. And I was like, you know what? I just need I need to step back for a little bit. So that's what I've done. Took a bit of a step back for a couple of months. And by that, I mean, not being all out bodybuilding all the time. Still training, still eating well. I've traveled quite a lot. I've partied a little bit as well, to be fair. It's been fun, and I almost like, but now that's kind of done. I felt like I needed to kind of just chill for a little bit, not be tied to a routine or tied to a way in which things should be done. And I've just done what I felt was right at that time. And I'm very fortunate to be, in the job that I have and working with the amazing clients that I have, so that I can have that ability to travel and have the freedom of time, so to speak. But yeah, I've gone a little deep on the intro there.
No, man, honestly, because honestly, that's kind of the reason I actually asked you on, because like, if anyone just sees you, they're going to think, fuck me. Like, this dude's a monster, the way that you train and things like that. But actually, when you open your mouth, you're very different to a lot of, I guess you can, because obviously you're a big heavyweight bodybuilder at the end of the day, right? Like you're a big dude. And I think we get like, there's this stereotypical thing, like they're a bro, they're a real bro.
Yeah,
Like, and I think
100%.
what's been really nice watching you over, I think over the last couple of years when we saw that hunt and we saw that athlete mindset, and that doesn't go, like that's never going to go in your life. But what I've loved seeing this process is that you wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very connected, self-aware with your emotions and things like that. And it's kind of dabbling into, you kind of already said it, like what you offer to clients now on the lifestyle side of things. I'm like, oh, good, because it's very refreshing to see from someone that's like, I think you don't see it from someone that's like a real hunting athlete and like a top bodybuilder. You don't see these guys often express how they feel. And that's kind of the reason I got you on here. And it's like, because I've been thinking about the same things. I'm like, I want to push hard for the next couple of years because I want to hunt this thing down, right? But also I'm like, I want to fuck off for the summer. Do you know what I mean? Have a life. So I guess kind of that's me just recapping you. But
yeah,
I
no,
guess,
I appreciate that.
but I guess kind of
it's good for me to hear you say that, because I never, right, and this is one thing I always like to make clear. I never do anything for like validation from anyone else, right? And I think a lot of people nowadays do that. They speak certain ways and do certain things because they kind of want to be perceived that way, if that makes sense. I'm very unapologetically me. Like I'll say what I think and feel, unless it's something that could hurt someone. Then obviously I maybe probably won't say that, because I'm not in the business of confrontation. But yeah, like I like to be as real as I possibly can, and that's why I do wear my heart on my sleeve. And I don't want to say I always have, because I haven't. Probably up till about, I would say, 2-3 years ago, when I went through like a really bad time. Like I'd never been depressed before. I didn't really know what it was. I was kind of always happy-go-lucky guy, and then I went through like a really bad breakup, which kind of messed me up like quite a lot. And and it was just as COVID was coming in as well, and like everything just kind of just felt like we went into like a bit of a sinkhole. And I think since that point, I've become very more aware of how I feel, and in touch with it. And then also like, how can I, because of what my job is, how can I maneuver and utilize the things that I've experienced to help others, and like use my understanding of, I guess, anxiety, depression and stuff like that. And I'm not in that place anymore now, by the way. That was like a while back, but I definitely learned a lot from going through that. And I think the ability to be open-minded, to talk as well, because I found the more I've actually talked about it, the more my clients tell me, like you say, because people would look at me probably and just think, oh, you know, he's a bro, he's a big dude, he probably doesn't have that side to him or whatever. And I tell you what shows this off quite a lot is that this summer I've been to Ibiza and to Marbella, I've done a couple of festivals, had some fun times, and the amount of conversations I've had with people where they're like, oh, dude, you're actually like, you're quite a deep guy, or like, you know, you're a nice guy or whatever. And I'm not saying that for like credit or anything.
No, but it's true. It's true, because like it's horrible, but it's like you judge a book by its cover, right?
Always, mate, always. And we're I don't want to say it's shallow, because it's almost like we're unintentionally shallow, aren't we? Like we look at someone, we automatically just judge what we see. And I've done it myself many times, and I almost feel bad for it, because then I talk to someone like, holy shit, that dude's like so nice. And I thought he's probably going to be a bit of a dick, because of the way he looks. And that's just, I don't know, it's just really broadened my mind. But so many people still think that way. And again, that's fine. And I say, you know, give anyone 5 minutes with myself, and I'll probably, you know, we'll be able to have a good conversation about something, you know, not that you need to prove yourself or anything, but yeah.
No, that's it. And I guess we can bring that back a little bit. Like when you said like the last 2-3 years, that's when you kind of learned a lot off the breakup and COVID. And that's when you really went in on bodybuilding, right? That's when you went in. Did that kind of save you? Was that kind of like, was bodybuilding that point where you're like, I need to lock into something to give me security and give me control back, sort of thing?
Yeah, I think you as a bodybuilder as well, and anyone else that has been through any type of physique transformation, to get that goal, you have to have structure, you have to have routines, you have to have daily processes that you do. And those things at that point when I was in a bad spot, those things kept me in a not so bad spot. Like it could have spiraled worse, you know, drink, drugs, things like that. And I did go through a period where I did that. like a fair bit, and almost like it was like self-sabotage in a way, because those things are just a mask, and you're never going to heal internally by doing that. It's just a very short-term mask that actually only makes things a lot worse down the line. And I've learned that, I don't want to say the hard way, but I've learned that by doing it. So there's a lot of people that can offer this advice. It's like, but they've never actually done it. They've never, done these things and taken drugs or whatever it may be. So I've learned that from going through that process. But then the ability to then, okay, actually, I had a few conversations with some people very close to me, and again, that's the power of talking, because I was always that guy. 3 years ago, I wasn't that guy, but I just wouldn't really open up that much. And it really allowed me to. Well, I fucking had to, like, because I don't know where I was going, and I just had to talk. I remember there was a point where I just went to my brother's house, and I couldn't stop crying. I was like uncontrollably crying, because I didn't know where I was going, like what my direction was, but also then like the pressures of like social media and stuff like that, having sponsors and all shit like that, because nobody else would know. Like you wouldn't have known, like, because then I turn up on my stories the next day, yo guys, what's good, how you going, and then behind closed doors, it's like you're going through all this shit, and that's why I know, like, or it's giving me the kind of belief that now, or what's the word, kind of the understanding of how important mental health is, because a lot of people don't see it happening, and that's why, like, it is such a powerful thing.
What did you think was going through that time? If you had to pick maybe like one or two things, what do you think the greatest thing you learned in that time period was about yourself?
Probably, I would say, well, one of the things that I learned to do was communicate more. And genuinely, like, I talk so openly now, and I actually love it. Like, I actually enjoy, I don't want to say I enjoy talking about past bad experiences, but I enjoy the fact that I'm very, very open with things, and I will talk to anyone about anything, really. And I feel like the more conversations that I have, and the more I'm open with stuff that I've been through in the past, it helps other people open up about it, because a lot of times people don't want to be perceived as weak or needy, or I don't want to annoy anyone with this bullshit. And that's not the way it is. Obviously, we know that's not the way it is, but that's how people think. And I thought like that at first. I was like, oh, I don't want to annoy anyone. How do I really feel? Is this depression? Is this anxiety? Is this sadness? Whatever. But yeah, definitely for me, I think communication, being upfront with yourself, how you feel, because for a long time I was very I'd lie to myself, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I justify things.
Yeah, like bury your emotions or something like that, and then replace
1,000%. And I'd run from my emotions, and I've done it before. There was a time a couple of years ago, I went to Marbella just for a bit, just because, and I had an amazing time, don't get me wrong, but the reasons I went was to get away from here, because my apartment where I used to live with my ex and stuff like that, it was just like, it's all environmental things, so I had to go away, and that really helped. But I think being open and honest with how you genuinely feel, like if you think you've got, I don't want to say a problem, I don't know calling it a problem, but like,
No, I think it's fine to say that, because I think it is a problem, isn't it? It's something that we have to deal with. Something we have to kind of man up and be like, right, this is bothering me, so it is a problem, and I need to sort it out somehow. Like, you have to grab your nuts, kind of thing.
100%, man. And I actually heard something today. It was, and I've heard a few things like this before, and I've been there before. Like, when we're all like, some shit happens in your life, like your girlfriend leaves you, somebody dies, you lose your job, whatever it is, something that's quite bad in your life that's going to cause a ripple effect. We really can either just sort of sit at home and sulk and join the pity party, and I think we all are allowed to do that for a little bit. But we have to fucking know when to pull yourself out of that, because you can't do it forever. Like, you really can't. You're just like, say your girlfriend leaves you, right, or whatever. I'm just saying this because it's what happened to me. Like,
man, honestly, I'm the same this year. That's why these conversations are great, because I feel like I'm just you. Like,
you resonate, you understand. We feel the same feelings, right? So your girlfriend leaves you or whatever, and it's a situation whereby you're actually powerless to it. It's not your decision. It wasn't mutual, whatever. Like, that happens, and then what can you do about that? You're upset about it. Okay, so by me being upset about something like that, I'm probably going to get up later, maybe miss some meals, get back to my clients later. Like, it's making me a less good version of myself. So like the other option is like, right, okay, well, I've got more time now. You know, she's not here anymore, so I don't have to tend to her or help her, which is obviously something that I enjoyed when we were together, but it's now something I don't have to do or need to do. So it's all about framing your thoughts, and it's all about like, what are the positives we can take from this. And by the way, I'm saying all this stuff now, that doesn't mean that I do it like that all the time. I still have my own struggles all the time,
No,
and I,
100%. And
question myself. This is just the stuff that I've
I
learned
think the
and I
nice
try
thing,
to apply.
yeah, I think the nice thing is though, is that no matter, like, yes, you're going to feel like that, right? There's going to be times where you're going to feel like you don't implement it fast enough, but you're aware of it is the big one. So you're aware of it. You're like, right.
Yeah,
And now I can be like, right, I'm feeling like this because I felt like that before. I know that I just need to feel like this for an afternoon. And then tomorrow, whatever it is, or later on today, I fucking nip it in the butt and we crack on with the day, sort of thing.
mate, 1,000%. I think one of the biggest things that's actually helped me recently is time blocking. So getting all my shit together. So I get so
Okay.
like, you're probably the same. Like, we speak to fucking however many people a day, clients, friends, Instagram people, like loads of people, like all day, every day. And the stuff, just information in your brain all the time. The information overload. And I've got a project to do here. I've got client check-ins to do there. I've got, you know, prep there. I've got to do like whatever. You've got everything going on, right? And like, I did this thing the other day. I got so like overwhelmed, like probably a couple of weeks ago. So I had so much going, which is, it's a good problem to have. But then again, if you don't handle it, you know, you're not going to be able to perform at your best. And like, you know, I feel privileged to be in the position that I'm in, but I also have to perform at a certain level to continue to grow. And like, at each level you get to, it's kind of like, right, there's a little bit more responsibility. So there's a little bit more understanding of me that I need to do. I need to unlock new levels in my brain. So I just, every now and again, I'll just do a brain dump on the whiteboard. I'll literally just write fucking everything that's in my brain. Like, you know, however I'm feeling, like different jobs I need to do, all this kind of stuff. And I'll do that from time to time. But what I'll do daily now is I go through and anytime I think of anything I need to do, I need to do a post on that, I just write it down.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the day or whatever, I've just got a long, just messy list. And then I'll time block it for the next day. So I literally just, you know what time blocking is. So I'll set like from 7 till 8, I'm doing 7 till 8, like that's my hour where I get up and I'll have a meal. If I want to read, I'll read. I don't like push anything on myself, like being like, I have to, you know, meditate or journal or anything like that, or I have to read.
I
If I
think
want to, I will.
that would probably put you under more stress and anxiety if you had to.
Yeah, I tried it, and you know, for some people it works, and that's great. And if it works for you, that's amazing. I think I saw someone else who said to me as well the other day. They were saying, if you just copy other people's morning routines, you're copying what works for them. You're not copying what works for you. That works for them and that person. Like, yes, you can take ideologies and methods and utilize it for yourself. And I've tried it, and on it, like I had one before, it took like 90 minutes. It was like, didn't start working till like 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? It's like, geez, I need to be like probably working before that. But you know, I think just having a level of structure to keep yourself accountable is really key. Yeah, 100%.
No, I think you nailed the biggest one that we've probably both learned is just talking. Like I do that now. It's just like communication. It's just like, because when you talk about it, you're like, I feel fucking light. I feel good.
Yeah,
If that's,
yeah, for real.
I do it on like, sometimes it's great because obviously when you talk on YouTube, stories, whatever it is, I'm like, I know that that's Joe. Like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I know exactly. He'll tell me if he feels shit because that's just how he feels. And I think it's almost refreshing when you can just say you feel shit and feel good.
100%.
Think as obviously as a coach, you have to be smart when to say it or how to.
Of course. Yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's fine. Like you don't need to be like, oh, life's so fucking hard and miserable. Like, you can just be like, no, it's a pretty shitty day, but you know, crack on.
Yeah.
Half glass full sort of thing. And that is that is the mindset that you have. And it's
I think 100%. That's what you said. That's about that being aware, isn't it? It's about being aware of your thoughts and emotions. And like sometimes now, like, oh no, like if I'm in a shit mood or I'm not feeling great, I'm not going to try and work. I just like, right, leave that. I'm going to go for a walk, or I'm just going to sit and read my book or watch telly. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here for 2 hours trying to work when I know I'm not going to be able to work. I'd rather sit and watch telly for 2 hours and at least enjoy that time, or go and do something that's going to make me feel better, you know, rather than, so I used to be so bad for it, man. I'd be like, you know, if I'm not in a,
I was going to say, if we said this to you 2 years ago, you'd be like, I feel guilty because I'm not fucking like, I'm not productive.
Yeah.
I'm not boom all the time. But now you give yourself that, oh mate, I don't like the word, but it is a good word when you can use it correctly as balance. So it's knowing when, like vice versa, when you're in prep for the 20 weeks, 6 months, whatever it is, you know, for that 6 months, 20 weeks, it's gas down 24.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, when you go
100%.
into an off season for 2 years or whatever it is, it's about 80%. So you know,
Yeah,
when
you can have a little bit more. You can have a little bit more downtime for sure, 100%.
And you can treat your business exactly the same. It's like I do that now. I'm like, I give myself Friday afternoons and Saturdays just to slow down.
Like that.
It's
That's
that
good.
simple.
Do you know? I think I'm still bad for it, but I'm getting better for it. I try and take the weekends off now, which is good. Obviously, I try and encourage my clients to not mess with me on the weekend. Obviously, if they do need something, then of course I help them. But you know, throughout the week is the best time. I work through like Monday through Friday, most of the days, to be fair. And
But it's
then
like 16, 18-hour days. That's the thing. Like they're long days. So you deserve the weekends. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. God. But yeah, I think I just work now when I'm, well, obviously, of course, we force it sometimes, but I try and work in my most productive times. So also staying on top of stuff like, you know, hydration, sleep, and stuff like that. And I'll be honest, my sleep sometimes is one thing I struggle with, like as a lot of my clients do as well. You know, and you can offer all the help in the world, and then, you know, your own sleep struggling. Obviously, you know, taking things like PEDs and stuff doesn't help at the best times. But yeah, you know, you probably understand that a little bit more being 1 week out. But
Yeah.
but I think even just like off season, you're just being a little heavier, having a bit more food in. It's like, well, I'm doing like, you know, pushing 7,000 calories a day, and it's like I can't really go to bed at 9 o'clock because I've still got another, you know, 2,000 calories to eat. It is what it is. And then, you know, it's just, but it's about managing time, isn't it?
Yes, and like you say, it's just knowing when you can be the best you in the day. I know I'm the best me when it gets to, honestly, like this time now, so it's 6 p.m. for me or 5 p.m. I can't do shit off this time. Like I just can't.
No, me neither. Me
Like,
neither, bro.
but like
Yeah.
from 5 a.m. all the way through, I'm like, I'm good, sort of thing. Like I'm most productive in the mornings. I train in the mornings, but then when it gets that kind of 3, I do a little bit of work done at 3, but at 5, 6 p.m. I just crash, and that's why I like doing now, because I get to chat shit.
Yeah, that's cool. I think especially where you're at now, being on prep and a week out, like, you know, you know, mentally you're tired, but also physically you're tired by that point as well. So you don't really want to be going to do you don't want to training at that time, for sure. It's kind of that I get when I'm prepping.
I don't think I would in the off season though. If someone said, "Oh, go train at 6 p.m." We're like, "Oh, I'm not sure about that."
Yeah, I know what you mean. But then it's stuff like, how do you know, implement your supplementation? You can't really take a stim. So how's this going to work? You know what I mean?
Think about different meal timings, and you're like,
oh, yeah. When I'm prepping, yeah, I always have this like toss up between, obviously, right, work's important, but my training's just as important as well. And then I've got to do cardio and posing and abs and vacuums. It's like, okay, what's the priority here? Like, I've got to have a good balance of each. So like, I try and get. I obviously go to the gym. The first thing I would do is like, and I'd go do my vacuums, posing, cardio, get that done as early as I can, and then I go and try and get all the high level jobs done that I can. That would include check-ins if it's check-in day, because I want to be able to give them some energy. If I save my check-ins to the end of the day, I'd probably, hey guys, wouldn't be as charismatic. I mean, obviously sometimes that happens because the day goes to tits or whatever. But you know, it is what it is.
No, that's it, mate. Honestly, if you need a housemate, our routines will match perfectly, so we're good.
I love that, bro. Yeah, same in a different country though.
It's all right. We can just do 50-50. It's fine. Or we just go to Spain. I'm all right with that.
I'm a big fan of Spain. I love Spain, man. It's so good. Like, obviously, I spent a couple of weeks in Ibiza, which I would advise against if you're a competitive bodybuilder moving forward.
I'm doing it for like a week though.
Right, a week in Ibiza, unbelievable, because you can go in, smash the back doors out of it, and get out. But like this time, we planned on doing 3 weeks, and I went with 2 friends, and one of them's a bodybuilder and a coach as well. So we were like, right, keep each other accountable. Also, we were staying in a hotel. It was a very nice hotel, all inclusive. So as much as like everything was there, it was still difficult to implement. And then obviously I got ill, so that was just kind of just put the whole thing out the door. I actually came home early because I was just like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Hey, didn't you go straight to the Arnold's when you were ill? Is that right?
I did. Yeah,
play.
Yeah, bro. It was like the Thursday I was still in bed. Friday I had the flight booked for Friday night. I woke up Friday. I was like, I feel all right. And obviously, I nearly sacked it off. But number one, it was I'd paid for it, booked the Airbnb, I'd booked the ticket for the VIP a bodybuilding show. And the main thing I wanted to watch the bodybuilding show live. That was just like, that was what I wanted to watch.
What was it? Because obviously I've seen all the I'm going completely off. I love these podcasts.
Yeah.
What was it like face to face? Because there was loads of like, it's been a very interesting year. Obviously, we've got the biggest Olympia coming up ever.
Yeah.
And it's been, we still got qualifications still to go and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
What was it like seeing the guys face to face? Because on the lives, on the recordings, like it was hard to tell. But like, what was it?
They look phenomenal, like so good. I think a lot of these high quality videos actually make them look a little washed out. That's what I think.
I think all the videos washed out.
I think in person, like the video, when you get that, you can see that like grain and that level of like deep, like those deep cuts that you just, I don't know, as much as it's a 4K camera, you just can't really pick that up. Nah, it's not. And like, I think it actually makes people look potentially worse than they are. But also then on the flip side of that as well, back in Bonnie's day, it was like, everyone was peeled and dry. So but your cameras weren't that good. And it kind of, it's almost like you've got an automatic sharpen over the top, and everyone just looks dry as fuck. But I think in person, everyone just looks incredible. Like I've seen Andrew Jack in person. He's obviously going to be a dominant force moving forward. I think he's still got improvements that he can make for sure. It was really good to see James on stage as always. Got massive fan of James, and Martin Fitz as well. He looked very good. So it'd be cool to see him progress throughout.
I think what's nice is there's kind of that, it's like that generation swap now, isn't there? Like you're seeing a lot of like, especially this year, you're seeing a lot of like new faces and things like that, or people that have been on the scene. You're like, oh wow, like you fucking improved like massively. And I think it's obviously, it'll be interesting. I think the top 5 this year at the O will be very similar to what it was last year. I think it'll be a very similar top 5. But then I think from 6 all the way down to 15 is going to be like, that'll be the interesting. I think that'll be the best one to watch.
that's more I'm looking. Yeah, it's gonna be really good to see that. It's gonna be insane this year. It's gonna be very deep, very very deep at all. Indeed. Do you think Andrew Jack can get in top 10? Be interesting to see when
I don't think so. Like I think give him another couple of years and just work on those weak areas and pack on a bit more size. Like if he can keep that midsection and that taper, like he's going to be a massive threat. But
it's going to be interesting to see like him sit next to someone like
Nick
Walker and Hunter, because there's
next to
they're so different.
Because it's kind of that typical thing. He's kind of like, he's going to stand next to them and look like a classic guy, not like a bodybuilder.
But then again, is that what they
I don't know, nowadays? Man. I feel like, but then I'm like, well, just go to. I feel like bodybuilding is. I always think like keep bodybuilding, like the big fucking guys, keep them as that. Like that. Don't get me wrong. I think it's important to. I think there was that time period where they need to keep the waist. They need to keep that. They
like getting Sean Roden in to win.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just like seeing like at the end of the day, there's a reason why you see Big Ramy and you're like, that's fucking sick. Like he's adjusted. Like it's insane.
Do you see him down the gym?
Yeah. Oh man, it's freaky. Yeah, it's freaky.
Yeah, but in person, he's just fucking crazy.
Oh, it's nuts.
Such a big human.
Yeah, it's nuts. But anyway, back to you.
We chat bodybuilding all day.
Yeah, screw bodybuilding. It's fine. Let's talk about other stuff. But I guess kind of I like talking to you about kind of the mindset side of things and stuff like that, and it's really refreshing. I guess going back, kind of like you've been in bodybuilding these 11 years, right? And then powerlifting before that and stuff like that. What was kind of teenage like? Where's home, and what was teenage years like and stuff like that? Because I've seen from your stories and stuff like that. Man, I've seen your Sunday roast with the family and fucking coming. But like you seem like you and your brother and like your family environment is amazing. So kind of what was your upbringing like and things like that?
We're super family orientated, and I love that because I think it's kind of like, I don't want to say rare, but like I think the way which we have it, like the way which we have it, and I think sometimes a lot of people would have it, but people are just well, for example, you're in Dubai, do you know what I mean? Like everyone's in different parts of the world doing different things. People are busy, and I'm very lucky. My parents are still together. I think that's kind of rare nowadays.
That's an odd one.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? They've been together like, I don't know, 35 years or something like that. Married, for example.
Incredible.
but yeah, no, we were always like super close as a family, quite a big family, got lots of cousins and like aunties and uncles and all that kind of stuff, but super supportive. Like dad always, you know, got us to go, we did rugby, football, cricket, golf, like the lot. Literally, we were like the sporty kids, you know what I mean? So we did everything. And I remember like playing rugby when I was like, you know, all through school, year 7, 8, 9. And I was just like, I was, you know, I was all right, but I was so small. And when I was like 14, 15, I remember they opened the gym at school that we could go on a Tuesday and a Thursday night. I was like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, go and try and get a little bit stronger. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. We just always tried to lift
Arms
it
and
as much
chest,
as we
right?
could on. Yeah, literally, there's this little bench press thing on it. I remember it now. We always used to try and stack it. I don't think I ever did. Probably do it one-handed now, but yeah, it was cool. And that's kind of where I started training from. And then we actually had a really cool teacher called Dimitri Delval, who was a professional rugby player before, and he was a bodybuilder as well, not professional, but he was very, very big and strong. And he came in and he created the powerlifting club. He did the rugby coaching.
Oh, wow.
And we used to come into school at like 6 a.m. and do like conditioning sessions before school and stuff. So it was quite like a serious setup for like a comprehensive school.
Yeah.
We did really well with the rugby and stuff. And that was where I started to really kind of push my training, actually get serious about it with a goal and not just training for like jokes. It was like, right, I want to do this for this reason. And then he brought in the powerlifting club. We started getting doing pretty well with that. And my parents were always super supportive. They'd always come to all the meets, or went to like every time I played rugby at home, they'd be there watching. So yeah, no, I'm very fortunate to have the family setup that we do, and it's nice to, every now and again we get the family roasts going, and
Yeah,
mum and Amy, my sister, they cook it up, and we'll do the washing up, the blokes.
No, I
That's
love
fine by
it.
me.
I feel like it's a ritual. Like I kind of look on Sundays, I'm like, I know who's going to be doing the washing up. You, things like that. It's great.
Yeah, it was classic the other day. Like a couple of the boys came over as well. Lewis, Matt, it was me, Adam, there's a few of us, and like there was so many people at our house, and our house is like, mum and dad built an extension like probably 15 years ago, made it quite like a massive social area, and they purely for that reason, so they could just host. Because my parents are like the most social people ever. Like they love it. Everyone loves my parents because they're just like good energy, especially my old man. He's just an absolute joker. Because you ever see me and Adam just posting them on our stories? It's just such good energy and good vibes, and we love them to bits. So
because where is home for you? I feel like I know, but where are you based?
We're south. So we're based in southwest England. I'm not too far from Bristol. I'm in a place called Cheltenham,
Oh
and
yeah,
I was born and raised in yeah. So obviously we've got like the horse racing here, which is literally like just down the road from here. And I was born and raised in a little town called Winchcombe. Like probably most people won't know it.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you actually heard of it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because I was born and raised in Oxfordshire, so like Henley on Thames sort of.
Okay,
So it's kind of like
sure.
they're quite
the
similar sort of town.
Yeah, 100%. Like the little kind of like Cotswold posh little nice towns. And like, so when I used to play cricket, I used to play cricket in the Cotswold Hills leagues. We used to play cricket at Henley on Thames. And some of those places, like really, really nice like cricket grounds, and obviously Winchcombe was nice. So yeah, it's good times. I miss cricket, I thought, I actually thought the other day, I was like, I could go back and play a bit of cricket. I think obviously I don't think I'd look a bit weird in the whites now. I'd be like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, so definitely get some custom whites for you.
Mate, I know. I used to be opening bowler back in the day. See if I've had a few shoulder issues since then, so I'm not always, I'd have to come off a 3-step run up. I wouldn't be doing no 24-step run ups anymore.
Yeah, fucking hell, no, that's it. No, that's crazy, man. And then did you go to university, anything like that?
Yeah. So I actually went to university twice. So first time I went to uni was when I actually dropped out a year at school. I failed a year at school in sixth form. Okay. Not because I wasn't academic enough, because I basically just didn't do anything. It was the year where I found alcohol and girls or whatever, and all that kind of shit. And I thought I could this is a big lesson for me. Like I thought I could just coast. And just kind of get through. And I couldn't. It was a big wake up call for me. I got D, E, and 2 U's. Basically I didn't revise, didn't do anything like that. And I remember how disappointed my mum was in the day. I was like, oh my God, she's crying and everything. So I resat. The one good thing about that was that I got to do so essentially I was a year behind then. So my year went to year 13 and I stayed in year 12. And then I went to year 13, then I was the big boy at school.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So that was fun, playing rugby, like being that guy for the year. That was cool. But obviously that was a big lesson for me. Obviously, smashed everything there. Then I went to uni, and I actually dropped out in my second year because, again, not because of academia. I smashed everything then. I was on it, but I broke my leg.
What? You're one of those kids I hated at school. You were quite smart and good at sport, weren't you? Like, do you know what I mean? It's like I'm the worst dyslexic in the world. Like, I failed school, everything like that, but I was all right at sport. But then you're the one like, I was good at it all. And you're like, fucking shit.
take your pick. Well, it's like my brother. Like, my brother is always kind of like, pretty good at sport and stuff too. But he's also dyslexic, so he didn't have like the academia side of things. And I had like I had the academia side, but I have to put effort in terms of like, to get the results that I want, so to speak. But that was kind of my journey there. So I actually dropped out because I broke my leg playing rugby, which was a nightmare. And I was actually living on a 3rd floor apartment in Cardiff, in Cathays, if anyone knows it. And I couldn't get to uni, so I decided to drop out. Still took my uni loan, lived there for a year. My leg got better. I literally had a year living in Cardiff on a uni loan, just going out and getting smashed for a year. It was absolute jokes, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I really wouldn't.
No,
I was a complete waste of a year, and like loads of money I'm probably still paying back now. But it was life experience and like life lessons, and I wouldn't plan for that, but it was great looking back on it. And then when I was 20, I came back and I worked for my dad for a couple of years. He's a business, a wood machinery business, making like doors, windows, conservatories, all stuff like that, bespoke joinery. And I remember I went to college. My dad sent me to college. I was like 24, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" And I'm with I started this course. I was 16-year-old straight out of college, and I was like, "What am I doing here? Like, I'm made for more than this." Not to put anything down on college, because it was great, but
it's just
for
life.
I just been to fucking uni, and like I dropped out, I'd gone to college, and I was like, "What am I doing? I'm like fucking around here. Like, what am I doing? I'm built for so much more." Like, and it was kind of like my young 20s. I was just I was a bit of a like all over the shop. I was just like, I doing a bit of this, bit of that, and it was like I said, life lessons and stuff. And I always had the ability. I just never used it. I was very good at like my sports. I played a lot of rugby. I was good at my rugby. I was good at gym. I was good at applying myself for all that. But then like life, I was shit. Like I just don't know. I was in my head. I was like I just coasting along. And then finally it got to the point where I was like, just before 24, I was like, I'm gonna go back to uni. Screw it. I was like, I built for more. I'm gonna go back to uni. I signed up for my first competition. I went back to uni. I did a fast track degree, so I just did a 3-year course at 2. And everything I took from when I went to uni the first time, because it is a similar course. Back then, I did sport coaching and education, and next time I did strength and conditioning. So I was a little bit older, a little bit more kind of knowing where I wanted to go. So I did S&C, and a lot of the modules that I used, I could take there, which was quite handy. So I had a 2-year course, smashed that. I wasn't going out or anything. I literally just did that. I didn't even play sport or do anything at the uni, because I didn't want to get involved in that. I literally wanted to go in, get the degree, and get out. I still played rugby at my home club. I did the uni stuff, and then did my first show, won my first show, and then that was kind of where I just started to build into like bodybuilding, competing from there. And then everything just got, I guess, more serious. And I actually did my PT qualification back when I was 21, so even before all of that, but I didn't do anything with it for a while. And that's when I then started doing some PT work as well, and then started to go from there and then work on coaching. So I've been doing that then for the past however long time.
Shit. And then I guess that's when it just evolved, and you kind of just drifted into the bodybuilding world, the coaching world, and where you are today. I guess that's pretty much how it is. Damn.
Exactly that. It's been a very interesting journey. I'm not gonna lie, but I've enjoyed it very much. I've been able to be myself, achieve a fairly good amount of things along the way, but also help a lot of people along the way as well.
I think what's lovely about hearing you talk is, obviously I listen to a lot of podcasts and like all this sort of stuff, and people that are like, I guess you probably listen to like Diary of a CEO and things like that. You listen to these people, and it's a very similar story. You have a very similar story to a lot of people that are quote unquote successful, however you want to say it. And it's just like, fucking try everything, fuck up a lot, spend a lot of money, like, fuck it, like you can earn it back again, all this sort of stuff.
100%, man. I fucked up more times than I can care to even imagine. And there was a point where I wasn't even trying Like it wasn't even I was just coasting, like I say, and I'm being super honest with that, because looking back on it now, I just had fun and I enjoyed myself. And I think there is a period of your time where you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to
That's
just,
what your
you know,
20s
have
are
fun.
meant for, man. That's what, like, I feel like your 20s, your early 20s, I'm like, fucking experience life, do it all. I wish I did
Yeah,
that in my early 20s. I was a full-time athlete at 14 years old. So
right.
sometimes I know I'm gonna get to like 35 and think, oh my God, fucking midlife crisis. I'm gonna move to Ibiza. Like, I have
Well,
this in
pretty
my
much what I
head.
did like a couple of months ago.
But yeah, I have,
But yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
man, 100%. No, I feel you on that. I think just like I went through, just so much stuff as a youth. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of traveling, a lot of travel. I've traveled the world quite well, I would say. You know, in my 20s, and I was always just getting by. Do you know what I mean? I was just doing it on what I could get by on. And then it wasn't until I was like, you know, later 20s, I actually started to earn some pretty good money that I could then. I almost say I got to a point. I was like, oh, I don't really, never had money before. Like I'd never had money till I was like 27, 28. And by never, I mean like living on the fucking breadline, as in like I just about have enough to like buy my food,
get rent, bills,
and
do what you need.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? And just like a, and I think a lot of people, well, most people live like that month to month, and
Oh,
and
mate, it's
it
petrifying.
just, it makes scary thought, you know, to go back to that. And one thing I always say is a piece of information, a piece of advice to people: you can fucking change that shit whenever you want. Like you can go out and you can do a course, you can do, you can learn stuff online, you can watch YouTube, you can learn to make yourself more valuable to people. Like what can you do that you can help other people with? And if you haven't got anything now, go and fucking learn something. Like do something that other people will invest into you for, you know, and just like. But the thing is, most people won't do it because the first step's the hardest, like starting or understand what it is that you want to do. But you know, you're not going to be good at it when you start. You never are. Like
Never.
imagine trying to learn the unicycle now. Like you'd fall off every time. If you
Yeah.
kept doing it, you'd probably be able to divide the unicycle, and then eventually you'd probably be able to help someone else do it, and then eventually someone will pay you to do it. You know, like.
And that's all it is. And like you said, I think what blows my mind now is because maybe people feel overwhelmed and things like that. But I'm like, mate, like me, I know that you've done a lot of stuff with Mark, Coles, and loads of education stuff. And obviously we both, I know that I've been to, like, when it was back when Muscle Mentors, it was doing a lot of their stuff. But also I'm like, fucking YouTube's great. The amount of shit I've watched on, like, I've watched all your stuff on like Trained by JP and things like that on the educational stuff there. But I'm like, the amount of shit I've learned from you.
He's just released his own one now.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
On like the YouTube, right? He's just done his own, things like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but like just Google shit and just find it out, and just like at the end of the day, like I never wanted to be in fitness. I wanted to be a fucking carpenter when I was a kid.
Love that.
So
that's what I
like,
ended up doing for a bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like,
it's mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Like no one like is I think as long as you like, and it's the same. It's like, Joe, do you want to be a bodybuilder for us? Do you want to be coaching for us? And I feel like for the foreseeable, yes. But if I keep aiming this direction, there's going to be other doors, some pathways that open up, and I might end up being this.
Bro. 100%. That's why, like, I've actually recently, the stuff I was doing before the call. Actually, I'm designing and building a new program for clients in the future that I'm going to be launching down the line. It's not ready yet. I don't want to give too much away, but it's going to be more directed towards not bodybuilding clients. Obviously, we'll still coach bodybuilding clients, but what this new program will be is more about lifestyle clients. And obviously it does what it says on the tin in terms of getting you in shape. Like that's the main call that people want to come in for. But one of the larger, that's a given. But one of like the wider aspects is that I want to help people like look at their lifestyle. Like, what is it that you're doing that makes you happy? Well, what does make you happy? What makes you tick? What are the, we'll look at the different, I call it like pillars in life, right? We've got different pillars in life. You've got, finances, relationships, business, health, fitness, all these things. And I find once they're all good, you're in a good mood, things are happy. But that doesn't last forever. It just doesn't, because something will happen. You'll get ill or whatever, or your missus will leave you, or your crypto will go down, you've lost your money, or whatever it is. We've all been, we've been there. Or you get a tax bill you weren't ready for, whatever it is. And then I find the more of these things that knock your pillars down, say if you've got a finance issue, a relationship issue, and a business issue, you're probably going to be pretty fucking anxious, like quite a lot of the time, and it's going to pull you back from doing the things that you actually need to do. But if you're not aware of it, then how the fuck can you action it? So it's kind of like making people aware of where they're at right now, where they want to be, and then figuring out a way of getting there. And I think, having that knowledge, whilst then also doing the fitness stuff, they're going to go hand in hand and really work together to get the most out of someone.
Yeah, man. Oh, mate, honestly, our coaching is very similar. Like, I'm always like, if I talk to someone, I'm like, I'm not worried about getting you in shape. Like, getting you in shape's easy. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
training is easy. Like, we learn that all the time. I get into a hack squat and I'm like, oh, my feet feel a little bit better if I could do this or that, whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
small tweaks. I'm like, training, you just get better at. Nutrition, you just keep learning more. Oh, I'll eat this 30 minutes earlier because it actually works a bit better. But actually, like, the other 23 hours out of the gym, whatever that is, looking after your time management, your stress, all this sort of stuff, like your life, your family, and things like that. Like, what is like, that's the shit that matters, because
100%.
That's the easiest stuff. And it's like, yeah, if someone wants to fucking get on stage, like, I know if I turn around and be like, Joe, mate, should we do a show in 6 weeks? You're like, yeah, all right. Like, you would just fucking bang, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
That shit's easy for you. But actually, I'm like, to manage. But then if I had loads of shit going on in my life, I'm like, bro, you're probably not ready to do a prep. You're not in a good position.
Yeah.
And it's actually having the confidence as a coach to be like, you need to focus on these things before worrying about X, Y, and Z.
100%. Getting your affairs in order, because as I always say, like, the body goes when the mind goes, and I'm sure you're very aware of that. When someone's mindset is anxiety, self-doubt, insecurities, worries about money, like worries about the missus, maybe a kid on the way, like, if they're always thinking about those things, like, we need to sort that shit out first before we can really start to escalate everything else. And that's one thing I've seen more and more from just doing physique coaching, is that people, because I've started to ask more questions, like, for example, in check-ins, I ask more questions because you obviously get more information back. People then obviously open up a little bit more, and you find out what their issues are, and then you can talk to them about them. And more often than not, I'll just be like, dude, let's just hop on a call. It's just easier. We'll just have a chat. And sometimes just a 15-20 minute phone call, and you can just help them. Like, I think the power of perceivement, how we perceive situations, is so big, because like how you perceive things can change your whole thought process, your whole mood in a day. Some people will say these issues to me. I'm like, why does it make you feel that way? Can you do anything to control that? What can you do about it? So I can't do anything. I'm like, why are you worrying about that? I'm not just washing it away, because I understand it's bringing a certain level of anxiety. But if you can't control it, you shouldn't worry about it all this much. Like, you really shouldn't.
Yeah, I literally said this to a few the other day. I'm like, don't worry about the weather, man. We can't do fuck all about it.
Yeah. If it rains, put a coat on, bro.
That's it. And it's the same as like you mentioned it, like crypto and the stock market and price and everything's going up. I'm like, guess what? It's going up for fucking all of us. We're all fucked.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, there we go.
But no, honestly,
we'll go down together.
I don't want to keep you on for too much longer, because it'll be almost an hour for you. So I want to know, what's the mission for you at the moment? Because obviously you've been a little bit under the weather, but we're kind of back into training and things like that. What's Joe's focus at the moment? What's, I guess, the next kind of, I guess, from a training side of you and business side of you, I guess, kind of, because you kind of know what the next year looks like for you, really. What's involved?
Yeah. We're mapped out. So if I compete next year, and I would like to, it's whether I'm ready or not, it will be the back end. So probably something like
this time next year.
Europa Pro, something like that in Spain. Obviously, I'd have to region for that. Absolutely, the goal is 1000% to get an African Pro card. That is always will be the goal until I get that goal. Obviously, I know the past few months have been a little bit more chilled, shall we say, from a bodybuilding perspective. But I did a physique update the other day, and I'm pretty happy with where I'm sat, to be fair, all things considered.
Yesterday or today? I saw one yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday. So I'm pretty happy with where I'm sat physique-wise. Conditions.
Hey, considering you've just got better and you've had like a chill couple of months, I'd love to look like that after that.
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I haven't weighed myself. I'd say I'm probably maybe 260, 265, something like that. I'd like to get, realistically, I'd like to push 290 plus. The thing is with me, like, say if we say 300, like I stay lean when I grow. Like, I just don't get fat, which is obviously quite nice. But also, it's harder to just like, it's harder to grow. Like for me, I could probably stage lean in like 6 weeks, realistically. Like I just could, which is great. But also the other end of the spectrum, growing is difficult. So I want to do 285 to 290 in good nick by, let's say, May, just before start of summer next year. So now basically I'm home, no more travel plans.
Nice.
I'm in my environment. I've got my people around me. I've got, you know, things are set up here nicely. You've got JP Gym down the road, Kojo's. So I'm in a good setup now. I've got the kind of traveling and fun and stuff out of my system.
Yeah.
And so we're ready to push on, and I'm very much excited for that. And the second part to that is the business side of things, like the things that I was just mentioning there, the program and the way in which I want to start pushing things there and really elevating things, bringing on more people onto the team to work with me, and offering more and more value, just more and more value, helping more and more people. That's the ultimate goal. And just to build that out and just to keep being, I think, to like round that off is to just keep trying to be a better person, like personally develop, read more, take in more information, understand more, and just keep progressing, and just understanding that there's never an ending to this road. We're always on it, and just keep moving forward. That's the goal.
Amazing, man. No, I love it. And sadly, at the end of these podcasts, I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because it's the 1% podcast,
Mm-hmm.
I need a tip, or everyone needs a tip. So what is that one thing, that 1% of advice that you can give that's going to take someone a little bit further forward tomorrow?
Oh, one piece of advice. I think something like, for me, it was about understanding myself and not justifying shit to myself, which I did a lot of the time. And that doesn't have to be going out drinking or, you know, going to a party or whatever it be. It could be getting up an hour late or missing a session or missing a meal. It's like, be honest with yourself about things. And if you fuck up, it's cool. Just deal with it. Don't like justify it, because at the end of the day, we're all human. We all make mistakes. So for me, it's about staying structured, unraveling things from your brain. That was huge for me. So I went through a period of my life where I just really was just anxious all the time. And once I realized, if I actually just physically write it down, that really, really helps me. So stay structured. Don't justify and don't lie to yourself. And in fact, let me go back on that. Don't lie. That is a huge thing. Like, just be honest always. And I've been through periods where I'm an honest person, but we've all had periods where we've told little porkies here and there for sure. And nothing ever good comes from that. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And I was actually watching a podcast with Jordan Peterson the other day, and he said something similar.
That, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't know what it was like."
It was Diary of the CEO, actually.
It was "Don't lie for a week," right, or something like that.
He was like, just don't. He's just talking about don't lie. He was like, even if by not lying and telling the truth hurts you or the person that you're talking to, or whatever it is, you have a duty of care to yourself to tell that truth. Because if you lie, like, that's not going to help anyone down the line, because things come out, whatever. Like, the honesty is the best policy. So, you know, and I've been living by that now for a good period of time, because we've all made mistakes in our past, and I've made mistakes when I was younger.
It's even little things, it's just when you're like, oh no, I'm too busy. You're like, well, you're not. You just don't want to do it. Just say you don't want to do
it. Yeah. No, 100%. I feel you. And then, like, you know, sometimes some of the bigger things that you don't want to lie, or you want to lie, or you don't want to talk about, basically, just front up, own your shit, and just be honest. Like, just be honest and don't lie. Be structured, get your information out of your brain onto paper, time block it, and I guarantee you'll improve your productivity, you'll lower your stress, you'll lower your anxiety, and you'll probably become a better person.
Amazing. No, honestly, sick. So guys, the moral of the story is go back and listen to this podcast about 3 times and you'll absolutely fine. But no, honestly, buddy, thank you so much. But it was a conversation that I needed, which was lovely. So thank you so much. It's nice to talk to someone. It's nice to talk to someone that I see as a role model, and that I'm like, one day that's the position I want to be in. And actually,
thanks, man.
You're a normal dude, which is lovely.
Mate, that's what I always say. Do you know what? I say little guy, like a dude came up to me in the gym couple of days ago, 2 days ago, because I train sometimes I go and train at like the local gym, and he's like, "Are you Joe Ballinger?" And I was like, in my head, I was like, yeah. And he was like, "Oh, I follow you on Instagram. I followed you for a while." You know, so I had this little back and forth, and I was asking about his training and all this kind of stuff. And I said to him, I was like, "Dude, I'm just a normal guy." I was like, I know what I want. I work hard. I train hard. And I was just like, just give me a little bit of advice. And he went off, and I was just like, I am just a normal guy. That is it. Like
I think
we're
that's
all
the
just
thing with everyone though, isn't it? Like if you met someone like fucking a role model, if we met a celebrity that we looked up to or whatever it was, and you're just like, well, they were just born in this world and they came from a very similar family and upbringing, but they made some decisions in their life that pushed them in the right direction. And that's all it comes down to.
100%. I think, I guess another little piece of advice is just to always stay true to yourself and to your word. I've seen a lot of people be in situations where they do something, or they do things, they act certain ways to mold around the way other people. And I've said this because I've done it before.
I've done that.
I've been in like sort of situations like at a club or on a holiday. When I was a bit younger, I was with other people of influence or whatever, and then you kind of act up to their thing. And like, no, I would never do that now. Honestly, I'm way too chill for that. Like, honestly, I just wouldn't do that.
I haven't got the energy for that yet.
Yeah, I'd do what I wanted to do if I wanted to, like, whatever. But like, I wouldn't just, I stay true to yourself. Like, if you have a set of beliefs and you think something, but you're talking to somebody of, I don't know, that you think is of influence or power, don't not say what you think because of who you're with. Like, back your shit, like back your thoughts, back your beliefs, but also be open to change, be open to learning, be open to, not always thinking in one-dimensional routes. That's one thing that I definitely learned a lot about. It's just always being open-minded with everything. But yeah, there we go. Round it off.
No, it's good, man. And if anyone wants to stalk you, find you, where's the best place to kind of get into contact?
Get in the queue. I've got loads of them. Fake profiles.
I'll put his OnlyFans below as well.
OnlyFans below. Yeah. No, unfortunately, I'm not on there yet. Despite being asked daily, but no, it's just probably Instagram at Joe Ballinger Fitness. So yeah, you should be able to find me on there. And I always say as well, whenever I do these podcasts and stuff, if anybody like has any questions or anything like that, feel free to jump in the inbox if it's anything related to this or anything like that, or you've struggled with anything mental health wise, or you resonate with anything that me and Brandon spoke about, then feel free to jump in the DM.
No, honestly, man, thank you so much for your time, and I'm excited for everyone to listen to this. So thank you so much, bud.
Pleasure, my man. Cheers, bro.